Yo, everybody, pinkies up.
Pinkies up, bitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, y'all. It's time for tea. I'm your guy, John Tell, joined by co-host Meg and whoever else decides to join on today.
It's a good day. We are highly favored and blessed for sure on this rainy day here in Pennsylvania.
And we are back with another webisode bringing you all the tea. Here at the Tea, we provide news, interviews, commentary, pop culture, politics, music, and more. Nothing is off the table. Things can get spilled when you don't censor a dish. Raw news and resources mixed with history. We are here to be true, authentic, independent media. What Kool-Aid are you drinking? Because we've got some tea for you. A healthy dose of information that will feed your soul, inform, and educate. We want to thank you. Thank you for viewing and supporting. If you would like to support more, get your notifications set to be informed when we are live. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you are looking into advertisement opportunities, interviews, or want to provide information, DM us on Facebook or email us, text us at the contacts at the bottom of the screen.
Let's get to it.
All right, let's go ahead and get to it. We want to start off with a post from Lockhart Media, right? Lockhart Media. So for 40 years, the FBI methodically collected information about Aretha Franklin using false phone calls, surveillance, infiltration. Her work on behalf of civil rights and association with Martin Luther King, Angela Davis, and more led to a 270-page-long FBI file. Franklin's FBI file, first requested via the Freedom of Information Act on August 17, 2018, is 270 pages long, peppered with phrases like black extremist, pro-communist, hate America, radical violence, and militant black power, and overflowing with suspicion about the singer, her work, and the other activists and entertainers with whom she spent time. Some documents are heavily redacted, and others indicate that there may be additional materials in the FBI's possession. Rolling Stone has requested the FBI make available any and all additional records. Quote, I'm not really sure if my mother was aware that she was being targeted by the FBI and followed. I do not know that she had absolutely nothing to hide, though. End quote, said Aretha Franklin's son, telling Rolling Stone. Meg, what is the first article that you would like to touch on this webisode?
Well, this makes me so upset about Aretha Franklin because I absolutely love and adore her, and I definitely don't see her as any of those things that they spoke about her on or try to tag her with. That's complete and utter bullshit. That makes me curious as to what our files say because, you never know these days. But a good topic that I'd like to start on this morning, afternoon, evening is the prison conditions in Alabama with Castillo Vaughn. He was the individual that was being sentenced to 20 years. He is like not even 10 years in his sentencing. He suffered from a gunshot wound obtained during the incident that he's incarcerated for. And now he's down to a 75-pound man from being, probably well over 150 pounds. We want to demand justice for Costello Vaughn, as well as in Virginia, Jonathan Harris is an incarcerated inmate that he's at Sussex too, and he's been incarcerated for a long time. He is innocent, and he's fighting with the Innocence Project in Washington, but they are segregating the Muslims. They're not letting any of the Muslims like be together whatsoever, but they're letting the Christians be together, which is so unfair. But also, he submitted a pardon over 2 years ago, and now granted, it does take some time for a pardon, but like whenever there's new or substantial evidence, like in your case, it definitely should be expedited, which means it should be like one of the first looked at. Unfortunately, Virginia has a very Republican governor, and he is like kind of frozen whenever it comes to pardons and things like that. We need these people that are, causing mass incarceration to have their cases looked at, especially if there's new evidence, especially if things don't seem right. Like this is a systemic failure to our democracy at this point. We have to stand up for our brothers and sisters and demand justice. It's so hard to do anything that you need to do for yourself as far as longevity, prosperity behind bars. And so it's so great for us to hear these type of stories so that we can advocate, for them. So if you would be interested in contacting the Board of Pardons on Jonathan's behalf, we can post that in the comments as well. We did send a letter today asking the status, like for a status update. So we're very excited to hopefully hear back. Freedom is not free, y'all. And we have to all work together across all lines of diversity for any kind of change. We have to be the bridge. We have to be the change sometimes. But for the second story, yes. So for the second story, let me look here. What are you thinking for the second story, Jontel?
Ooh, I get to choose. Awesome.
Yes.
So, so the next story that I would like to talk about is it's a quick one, really quick. A Chicago man will receive $9 million after spending 23 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. A cop who is married to a criminal county judge beat a confession out of the man and pinned the murder on him.
Wow. Shout out to Lockhart TV Media.
Mm-hmm.
We greatly appreciate the coverage that they provide. And this is horrible. $9 million. Thank God that he was compensated, but that is in no way 23 years of your life. Your family, not only yourself, is directly impacted now by this system. So not only does he deserve money, but his family, does he have children? Does he have a wife? Does he have a parent, parents? He does, of course. Everybody does. They all need compensated now by the city of Chicago due to their being directly impacted and traumatized from having their father yanked from their custody care and, concern, and being out of their life now for 23 years. That's time that you cannot get back. That's not freedom, especially when he was innocent.
And you know what? This is very common in cities like Philly, New York, and Chicago, and LA. Do you know how much taxpayers spend each year paying families that have been through situations such as this?
And that's even for Lancaster County, Jontel. They just raised the liability for that, they're having to pay now because of how many complaints and civil lawsuits that we've had. And Lancaster is very small. And for those listening, we're talking about Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I don't even know what the population is, to be honest with you, but like we are consistently criminalizing the homeless. And it is just like the worst thing ever. People are dying in jail with no explanations to their families, no care, support offered at all. The warden will call you and tell you your family member is dead. And that's it. Have a good day. That's not humane. That's not compassion. That's not
No.
bridging the gap and giving the family the resources that they need. Cheryl's a great person, but she's protecting her liability, which is the prison. Think about that. For profits, y'all. Police departments. Somebody's making money off of them. Who is it? Follow the money.
They're constantly making money off the people. This is
They're
why we talk
making
about
money.
power of the people.
Right. Exactly. We hold the power, but we have to all work together against every, thing that could divide us. And that's whenever you
And
have to stay focused on what's important.
facts. And you know what? This is the kind of stuff that you will be talking about on your show, Freedom for All, hosted by your girl, Meg Keller. You can catch it just
Yes.
about every day. Yes. And these are kind of topics, and the way that you're framing it for the viewers, they're getting a taste of how you bring your news to the masses. And I'm excited to see what you're going to be putting out today, because this story and the story of Castillo Vaughn, the story of, as we're going to be talking about later today, Jonathan Harris. I don't know if you want to talk about it today on T, or if you want to talk about it on Freedom for All, whichever your wave. But do you have the information on Jonathan Vaughn? Jonathan Harris. Is that the name of this man?
Yes, Jonathan Harris was the gentleman in Virginia that's incarcerated currently, and has put in for a pardon. He's put in appeals. He's innocent. He's been being held for quite some time now there. He's working with the Innocence Project out of Washington, D.C. They've agreed to look over his case because there is new evidence. So if we can just bring attention to this governor who, doesn't want to send in any, pardons, or do it so slowly that like people are out here dying by the time your pardon gets approved. That is one great thing I do say about Governor Wolf. He has sent in he's approved a massive amount of pardons in his, as his term as being governor. And that is something, we do have to speak good of, because he's been able to free a lot of people.
I'm going to miss Governor Wolf. And there is an episode of PBS NewsHour that just came out today that is speaking of the races that are going down in me and Meg's state of Pennsylvania currently. And we are under threat from having some really harsh, loyal Trump supporting kind of Republicans that will turn Pennsylvania on its head if we do not do something. And I'm not all necessarily for voting or just voting. I think that we need action. We need community coming together. We need base building as well, along with voting. However, I think that this election is very crucial to our lives and livelihoods here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Do y'all want to be on Dr. Oz's TV show? No, I don't. I'm cool. Thank you, though.
I sure don't either.
He got to stay in his realm. Real shit. Apology, respectfully. I love Dr. Oz. No hate over here. I support you as a doctor. I support your TV show as a TV host. That does not mean that you can be governor of a state that you don't reside. You can have dual citizenship. Right. That's understood and acknowledged. But John Fetterman, shout out John Fetterman, is my choice for a PA. That's just me. Also, he knows a lot about the criminal justice system.
True. To add with Dr. Oz, I don't even know if he's a doctor or not. And I also don't want any millionaires or people that are celebrities on TV representing me.
I don't want them driving my bus.
That part. We have a story via, again, Lockhart TV Media about police responding to a shooting at Summit Mall in Fair Lawn, Ohio. Multiple law enforcement agencies. So let's go ahead and get into this video now.
Okay, so tell me more about this one.
Okay, so this was a shooting at the mall.
So it's a shooting that happened.
He must have been a shooter. Yes, it says police are responding to a shooting at Summit Mall Right now, multiple law enforcement agencies are on scene, so it does look like they have the custody and apprehended. So that's always a good thing. It's so scary whenever things happen like in public places that you're supposed to feel safe. Like you don't even like for real. I didn't want to go to the mall for a while after Lancaster's mall like happened. I had that
Oh,
shit still framed
I
with the kid with
totally
the
forgot
guns.
about that. But you know what? That
Yeah,
wasn't, and this is the thing. They want to label it mass shootings when it's a lot of white
it's
people or affluent people
commotion.
or middle class people that are involved or victims of these quote unquote mass shootings. But when it's in redline communities, they want to frame it as black on black crime or gun violence or gang violence. When no, it's mass
100%.
shootings too, because lots of poor black and brown people are affected and caught in crossfire by these mass shootings. By definition, mass shootings are what? A few to several people at least. So
Right.
how many mass shootings have been happening that are not categorized as such? And
Right.
the issue that happened in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, here locally where we reside, was a shooting incident happened between two people, and it was in the mall. So like they labeled it a mass shooting, but as from my knowledge, no one was killed or hurt.
Right.
So I don't know, like not to downplay the mass shooting uh, and the severity that it brings to our societies. However, I think it's important to keep in mind all the other things that play part in other communities that we don't bring to light. We don't bring a lot of things to light, a lot of issues in our country, unless it's white people, middle class and up, that are affected. Let's face it. Let's talk about that for a second.
Right. 100%. I'm having some technical issues, so if I might log back in or log out and log back in.
Not a problem, love. I'm going to go ahead and show folks this footage from the helicopter crashes nearing a home in southeast Fresno, California, and then I'm going to show them another video. So, not a problem. We can also do some breaks. You know how we do here on the T.
Yes, get it. Thank you.
Of course. Wow. Wow. Let's see that again. You can see the camera shaking. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's goodness gracious. Okay. And so I want to wait to read this article. However, I do want to touch on this. Columbus County, North Carolina Sheriff Jody Green was recorded in 2019 making racist remarks and claiming that he'll fire all of the black employees in his office. Then months later, Green fired the only two black members of his command staff. Let's get into this news article via Lockhart TV Media. Oh, sorry. Volume.
It gets worse. After the sheriff explains that he's getting phone records from Verizon to trace anyone in his office who's called Campbell or Hatcher, he lets Souls know the plan. Campbell's the biggest thing that Louis Hatcher ever heard of me. Every bite that I know, you need to find him to stop with his snake. Former Sergeant Melvin Campbell said he was so surprised when he heard this recording of the sheriff
crazy.
talking like this about him, he had to listen to it twice.
I'm not surprised.
Before taking the job at the sheriff's office, Campbell, who received the Order of the Longleaf Pine from the governor, spent 30 years as a highway patrol officer under Jody Green's supervision.
Oh, wow.
And I worked with him, and it kind of shocked me. You know what I mean? That came out his mouth. I thought we was friends. But with friends like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah.
All right, so I was about to.
Shout out to Rubia Garcia, always providing great content and information as well. Great points. that racist cop comment coming out is staggering. However, it is not. I am not surprised by that. I want to get into this article via Lockhart TV Media. Kania Brunson, a young woman missing from Milwaukee, has been found dead. She was reported missing after she was last seen on Saturday, the 24th of September. According to reports, it was last thought to be seen. She was seen near some condos on Saturday. Her car was found on the east side of King Drive. The circumstances surrounding the cause of her death have not been made known to public at this time.
And that's what's so sad too. We could do a whole show on missing persons. Like people, that's another thing I think that goes unnoticed because people don't, realize until it happens, to you, unfortunately. But there's so many missing people. I remember like when I was a kid, we would see those like posters and there'd be like a ton up at Walmart. Now you would be shocked by how many, like Gabby Petito was, spoken about nationwide because she was a white, blonde-headed, blue-eyed girl. But what doesn't get spoke about is in communities of color is that there's a lot of missing people, and it's pattern and inconsistently that they end up dead. And so like that's definitely something we should talk about as well, one of these days.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was checking something really quick. Here on T, in general, on the Leon Block Independent Media, there's a lot of times where we're constantly bombarded with lots of information, lots of news, lots of content from our team members, other background reporters, and correspondents with the network. And there was some information that we're having sent to us from some correspondents. So I just wanted to touch base with those people. I'm not sure if we have any information left for T besides this last article that I want to get into, which is a great segue to the next webisode of Revolution Newslink, which is coming at you very shortly. We will be talking about a number of things that news that just came out today from a number of independent news outlets just like us, but really do the great diligent work, bigger and better than us. However, we always want to
We're
bring
coming for you.
That's right. Here on T, we keep it real. Was there anything we're missing? I know that you going to talk about Jonathan Harris on your show?
Yes, I'll talk about his case a little bit more. Also, tune in as we go in and dig a little deeper into Castillo Vaughn and just speak about prison conditions across the world. Mass incarceration is a huge problem. In the United States, we hold 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's mass incarceration. So tell me if I'm wrong, but that's a huge problem, y'all. That also puts a lot of our taxpayers' money into things that it should go in elsewhere. So check me out for Freedom for All. We'll be airing later today.
Thank you for that. Can't wait to chat more and see the kind of stories that you bring the attention to are very much well needed for our viewers. And also make sure that you catch the Urban Conservative with Chaz Neal coming to you very soon. Another important reporter here on the Leon Block Independent Media. Stay tuned for that, coming at you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and serving the Midwest. However, providing you content that is well needed all across America, and America with 3 Ks, I should say, rather. So let's get into this last story. The House passes package addressing mental health. 20 Republicans vote no.
So this means that everybody in each state that you're listening from, call your Republican candidates, call your Republican members, bitch to them. Mental health, if you have a mental health condition, you are 16 times more likely to be shot and killed by police or by a police interaction. The more times the interactions happen, the more likely you are to have a negative outcome. Prepare yourself. These people are voted, elected, like officials. We vote them into office. We are not saying voting is the answer. We are saying voting goes hand in hand with reform and change.
That's right.
We have to know better to do better. And I myself was not always on that type time, but I've learned that cronyism exists, which means friends putting other friends in office without the correct qualifications. We have to, knowledge is power, y'all, for real.
This list of the 20 no votes, the two that strike me are Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes, she was at the insurrection.
Yes, and also Matt Gaetz voted no.
My Lord.
Yeah. It was
and this is for mental health crises. These people need help. We all need help. Stop killing us.
The package calls for creating a behavioral health crisis coordinating office in the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, which would be tasked with bolstering access to crisis care. The office would receive $5 million per year starting in fiscal year 2023 until fiscal year 2027. It also reauthorizes millions of dollars in grants for states, territories, tribes, and tribal organizations to go towards community mental health services for adults who have serious mental illnesses and children who live with grave emotional disturbances. Up to 5% of that funding can go towards early intervention activities. Additionally, the legislation reauthorizes a number of programs that address mental health and calls for promoting the availability of high-quality housing and services that are dedicated to recovery for people who have substance abuse disorders. And it compels the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services to direct or support research that looks into the effect smartphones and social media use have on health and development of adolescents. Mental health concerns have increased around the world. The prevalence of anxiety and depression increased by 25% globally in the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's according to a scientific brief released by the World Health Organization back in March. And the Biden administration expressed support for the package on Tuesday. What were you saying?
The one thing I keep thinking about while you're saying all this?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. But you had me look up a song and you said, they don't even care about us.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael Jackson. R.I.P. Facts. We need to play that clip today because they don't care about us. This is our mental health. These are things that we go through directly impacted by not only the system, but so in early intervention is for kids that have autism or kids that are on the developmentally delayed scale. So it's not even mental health alone. Now you're fucking with our kids that got that need help from earlier on. Are they serious? I want to know if the Republican candidates that voted no, have you ever had to be around an autistic child for longer than 24 hours? Can you keep your shit together? Can you keep calm, patient, and compassionate towards the child? Because if you can't say that you have that experience, I don't want to hear a fucking word you got to say. You shouldn't even be able to vote on something like that.
Talk about it.
You can't vote on something that you know nothing about. And I didn't know anything about autism until my son got diagnosed. That's going to be always a very sensitive subject with me because it is rough. I'm a bad powerhouse of a female. It is rough every single day. So for mamas out there that need that support, don't hesitate ever to reach out to me. I understand it is a struggle. It is a path that we are on together, but we love our babies and we'll do whatever we have to do to protect them, whether that be mental health, developmental delays. We all have to come together across all lines. They don't even care about us, y'all.
They don't even care about
That's the T. Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. You already know. The link to the article that we're talking about and the people that don't care about us are in the comments section of our YouTube channel that we are streaming to right now. However, if you're watching from Facebook, you can go over to YouTube and check it out. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that.
You got me
However,
heated. Be sweating.
we can, if you reach out to us, DM us on the Leon Block Independent Media page, or you could reach out to us via email, theleonblock@gmail.com. You can text us at 484-909-0873 to reach out and ask any questions.
We want to hear your story.
Yeah, DM us articles, links. We love it. We love to share more information with the people. This is what we do. This is what we are here for on T. We must be clear and understand what the fundamental problem is, and understand that the root problem is the system. With the only way we can change is if we bring leaders in and commit to the long haul, connect through community. You are the media, and you are what helps us grow just by donating or even simply sharing this stream. And if you want truth and raw news, as we all want, we've got to do it ourselves. And being informed is important. Without information, true and real information, we're left in the dark and with a weak spot. So
Yes.
we will change that. All your support means so much. Every like, comment, share, and discussion. It means that people want to know what's really going on in the world. It means that people have the solutions and the ideas. People have things to say. And Leon Block Independent Media is here to be your platform, your mic, your voice. Tell them what the Leon Block is, Meg.
Oh, shoot. I might lose you because I have you on my phone. I had to shut my laptop off because it started acting funny. I shall try.
You know
Hold on. Just. I don't know what it is, guys. I just work here every day. No. The Leon Block is a grassroots media who is focused on love and light for all. Always. We will get the story out. We will love you. We will support you. We are seeking to fill the gaps that, deserts have created. And our mission is to change the way that everybody looks at media and take parts in politics, to become an integral and active part of their community, to enrich all lives, and to combat racism, to change the way we experience our lives. We focus on police-involved cases of incidents of racism, spirituality, world issues and news, history, music and art, and environmental stuff. But we thank you for rocking with us.
You already know. It looks like we have someone backstage. So let's see who we've got on the stream. Oh, it looks like we've got, who is that? Dave Moon TV. Yes, Dave Moon TV, welcome to T. We were actually going to wrap up, but we have a few minutes to give you, to speak your truth. Let us know about any recent news that has been taking place in Canada or in your neck of the woods. You there? Oh, it looks like your mic is off. We can't hear you there. Hey, comrade, we can't hear you. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties here.
To be followed on the next T episode. We'll have to reach out to Dave Moon since we're having technical difficulties today. Sorry, Dave.
Can you hear us? Are you able to hear us? Shake your head.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Oh, man. Well, Dave Moon TV, thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for supporting the Leon Block Independent Media and all of the shows. We got to have you back on soon. We will be on tonight, later on, or early morning. You already know how we do. And as always, you're always welcome on Leon Block Independent Media and Dave Moon TV. It's always a pleasure rocking with all of you as usual. Meg, it's a pleasure rocking with you too.
Yes, thank you. You as well. You light up my life.
And I can't wait to watch your show, Freedom for All, later on.
Yes,
thank
you. I'm excited.
And hear more about these cases that are going on. And everyone, we thank you for rocking with us tonight, today, wherever you are. As always, make sure that you are going to meditate on your path, celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. I'm John Tell.
And I'm Meg. Have a good one, y'all.